Let's look at some advanced sharing options within Google Docs. So again, we're going to go back to our share item up here in the top right. I'm going to click on this, and notice I have a couple of other areas where I can click. One is called Get Shareable Link, or the second is Advanced. And so we're going to start down here in the Advanced feature. This used to be the default window that came up here. So right now all you're seeing is that this is shared with Jeff and Dean. What you don't know is what level of permission they have in the sharing environment. But if I click on Advanced, it's going to open another window, and what this is going to do is it's going to show each individual and the level at which they can edit this document. So that advanced feature allows you to kind of go in, and it also allows me to say, you know what, I don't want Dean to edit, I only want him to be able to view that. I click on Save Changes, and those changes are made. I can also add additional people onto here if I want to, so I can come in here and continue to add people. Maybe I pull emails from a spreadsheet that I have. I can change the editing, comment, and view options here for these individuals. I can also send a copy to myself or paste this entire document into an email. So it gives me some greater functionality in terms of sharing here that I don't have if I'm not in the advanced window. Now, one of the other options that I want you to see down here is this particular piece. Editors will be allowed to add people and change permissions. So that means that anybody that has editing rights, so if I make Dean an editor, that means Dean will be able to add additional people, or he may also change the permissions. So because I'm the owner, he can't change that. And as an owner, I'm the only one that can delete this document, but he does have the ability to make changes and change permissions for anybody else that's sharing. If I don't want that in my document, again, by default it's turned on, but if I want to change that, I can go in and say only the owner can change permission. So you just have to remember some of these small little things that you have to do if you want complete and total control over your document. The other link up here on the top, it's called Shared Settings. I can actually push this link out to anybody that I've shared this document with as a quicker way to get to this document. So if you are not on this list and you try to access this link, it will not give you permission because you have to be listed here. So that's the advanced list there. Now let's go take a look at the other piece, which is the shared link. If we come back to the share option in the top right here, we're going to click on this Get Shareable Link. Right now, with your document, link sharing is not turned on. So if I'm in this window and I click on this, basically what I'm doing is I'm saying to the doc or to Google that yes, please turn link sharing on. So notice what it's doing. The first thing it's doing is giving me this message is that link is copied to the clipboard and now link sharing is turned on. So you notice how I have a green light, or basically this link is green now, saying that yes, anybody that has this link now can view this document. So if I were to take and click on copy or come out to an email and send that link off to anybody, they would be able to view that. They do not have to be listed down here like Jeff and Dean are. They now have access to this link. I can also do something like this. I can say anyone at Beyond the Chalk can edit this with the link can edit. Anyone in Beyond the Chalk can comment, and anyone at Beyond the Chalk can view the data. If I click on more, that will actually give me even more functionality with the sharing options. I can actually make this public on the web. And some of you might ask, well, why would we do that? Let's say you have a Google site and all of your lesson plans you're doing in a Google Doc, and you're just embedding that onto a Google, or embedding that document into a Google site. You would have to turn public on the web, or anyone with the link would be able to view this. So you're basically saying this is a way of actually publishing a Google document, so you can put it into a website or put it on the web so anybody can see. You notice I have several other options here. Anyone with a link, I can turn that on, can access it. Again, when I check these, If you look down here in the bottom, I'm also giving access, and that default access is view. I don't know that I'd ever turn this on for a public document unless I was in a workshop and I wanted to do some collaborative commenting on it using a document. I can do that. Again, and you notice that each one of these items here gives you a little bit different functionality along with this down here. If you want to learn more about link sharing, you can certainly click here, and it goes through the process of link sharing and what each gives, what each one of these options does in terms of permissions. So I'm going to click Save on this, and now anyone on the internet can find, and this is important, they can find that. So if they do know what to search for, they would be able to find this document. I'm going to actually turn that off, and I'm just going to turn it on for specific people. And now remember, I've already identified who those people are. That's Dean and Jeff. I click on Save. Link sharing is now turned off, so you notice that. If I want to turn that back on, I can click here. It turns that on, and I click on Done. So that whole idea of sharing, there's a lot of functionality and there's a lot of variation that you can turn on and off within Google Docs in order to get to just the right share settings for your students, for your colleagues, even for your parents and the world if you like.